Murph and Andy on a Friday, and Chris Williams in a crossover event is in for Andy. And Chris, every time I see you, I'm a little surprised because the promotional posters for the shows really don't reflect that you've gotten in better shape. So I'm startled when I see you because whether it's two guys or the promotional flyer that was put out today, it doesn't account for your transformation.
This Chris Hassel has created a monster here. He loves because he knows it bothers me. Like I don't get like mad about it, but it really does because he knows how self-conscious I have been about my weight in the past. And every time he does it, he just makes me fatter. And
this picture here, you look like I don't know, you're working out of a garage in your backyard, and you're just in a bad mood all the time.
I'll tell you what I look like. I look like the guys I was hanging around last night at the dirt track in Harlan.
Those are good guys, man.
Oh, I love those
ride
guys.
or die guys.
Oh yeah, guys I grew up with, man. Like that's for somebody who bitches about AI as much as Chris Hassel does, he uses it a lot.
He uses it. Yeah.
Man. And I loved your Murphy's Law this week, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Calling out the AI bots and oh my gosh.
And then 2 days later, I pop up in a national AI created slop feed that has me interviewing Brent Clark because he's done something amazing for the whole community that has moved his daughter and the whole team. And then it gets kind of confusing because it was a real picture. It was from an interview I had done from him that must be on, I don't know, Google Images or something. But people then thought the photo was AI created too, which it wasn't. It does get confusing. And unfortunately, I mean, mostly it tends to be older people that fall for this because they didn't grow up with this stuff and they thought they could trust what they could see. But one of our friends was over today and he said he's kind of checking out of social media because he just doesn't know what to believe anymore.
Man, especially Facebook. I mean,
Facebook is probably the worst.
I try not to scroll it that much because I honestly feel like 60% of what I see on Facebook is fake AI stuff. You should see it in the NASCAR world right now because I get fed a lot of like auto racing stuff. It's the Kyle Busch stuff. It's horrible.
Oh, yeah.
It's like about his kid. It's awful. Like whoever these people are, these bots, it's truly, truly horrific. Some of the stuff that they're doing with that young man right now.
It is, and I've had the stuff that bothers me most is, I don't want to name their names because I don't want somebody to hear it and then be alarmed and misunderstand. But I've been contacted about legendary Cyclone and Hawkeye figures who there's a post up that they died when they didn't die. And people get really alarmed and there's all these comments and tributes that pour out. And then in some cases, the family has to put out a statement that I'm right here with him. He's fine. Anyway, let's move off that depressing topic to what is this is a really sneaky good time for sports and fandom. The NBA Finals has been incredible with some moments that are going to be talked about as long as the NBA is played. The Stanley Cup Final has been as riveting as playoff hockey can be. We got the World Cup started yesterday, but tonight the United States plays in a big spot in prime time. We got watch parties like Jenny and I will be on the street on Court Avenue where they have a huge Jumbotron out. Big Grove has a big watch party out in front of that place. That's going on. The College World Series starts. There's a UFC fight at the White House, which sounds like AI, but it really is happening.
This is like the Super Bowl of niche sports that's starting here. For that's probably not fair. Like in my world, the NBA and the NHL are niche sports. I know they're not for most of the country, but like I haven't watched any of the NBA playoffs really until we've gotten to this point. But
you joined at a good time.
It's captivated me, and it's like the old '90s kid in me. I'm like waiting for John Starks to walk out there, but it's been really good. I haven't watched any of the Stanley Cup. I haven't really watched that at all. But the World Cup is something for me. And I'm not a big soccer fan. I don't hate it. I'm not a hater. But I do love, like, how I just said I haven't watched the Stanley Cup. I love international hockey too. There's something about international hockey and international soccer that scratches me right where I itch. Like I love the World Cup, and I'll be locked into
the
that
gold medal hockey game this year, the Olympics.
Unbelievable.
Jenny and I were in a hotel watching, and you could hear the cheers go up from all the rooms around us. Everybody was in their room watching it. It was great.
I'm jealous of you guys tonight. I can't go down there. It's my daughter's dance recital weekend, and we got all kinds of stuff, but family in town.
You got your own World Cup.
I am so jealous of you guys tonight and where happy hour is going to be, because one of my favorite sports memories was, man, it was a decade ago, and Sipker, of all people, drugged me to the old keg stand to this World Cup watch party, and we had
we were
much
there.
fun. Yeah,
that was great.
It was so much fun, and especially now in like our world where everybody just seems to be like mad at each other all the time.
Right.
Like when you can get together and cheer on the red, white, and blue, it's just cool. You guys are gonna have a blast.
Let's do it. We'll do it. Let's get to the show right now. Andrew Downs at the con, and it's Murph and Andy.
Let 2026 be the year you finally take that Canadian fishing trip you've always dreamed of. And let me suggest you take it to Lac Seul Evergreen Lodge in beautiful Ear Falls, Ontario. Lac Seul is one of the greatest walleye lakes in North America, and Murph and Andy Show listeners have the stories and the pictures to prove it. A day's drive from Iowa, owned by Iowan Kathy Taylor, on incredible, gigantic Lac Seul. Now booking late summer and early fall 2026. Find more information at lacseulwalleye.com.
Don't miss the fallout from SummerSlam, Des Moines, Monday, August 3rd. Tickets and VIP packages on sale now.
Oh, man, that's got to be in the rotation for Chris.
The Murph and Andy Show is brought to you in part by Ramsey Subaru, home of the toughest, most reliable cars in the world and the people who back them up, on Hickman Road in Urbandale.
Attention all campers.
Keith Murphy.
What I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career.
Andy Fales.
I'm telling you straight, it's my way or the highway.
Powered by AD.
Just a bit outside.
Murph and Andy. Live and on demand across Iowa everywhere from the Channel Seed Studios. Murph and Andy. Connected by Cellular Advantage.
It is Murph and Andy on a fun Friday. Chris Williams in for Andy Fales. And Chris, when you created this Iowa Everywhere media empire, one of the things you wanted was authenticity. And I got a kick out of there being a spot before we started here for Lac Seul. And Andy's on his way to Lac Seul right now with Ken Pink and a bunch of buddies. They're going to honor our good friend Bryce while they're up there. And awesome. He's not just saying he loves Lac Seul. He loves Lac Seul.
Oh man, it's like me going to Knoxville for a weekend for him. He just eats that up. That's cool that they're doing that. What is it? Just a group of guys that used to fish with Bryce, and they're all going to hang out
and some. There's some younger guys, and I know there's a new guy that's coming on it. It's
awesome.
Just a collection of people, and they're.
Do you ever fish?
They're going to have a great time. They're up there for a week.
Are you a fishing guy?
I have fished, but it wouldn't be fair to call myself a fishing guy. Yeah. It wouldn't be fair to actual fishing guys. Jenny's pretty good at it, but yeah.
What do you mean Andy, she's good at it? Like she can sense where the fish are? Like she...
Yeah, she's got a sixth sense about those fish. She communicates telepathically with the fish.
Everybody's good at it in a farm pond. Like that's what I grew up on.
Yeah, she can fish out of an aquarium like nobody else. the thing I like about Andy too is he's not predictable. Like, I don't think some people would think of Andy as a go into the backwoods, dig a hole and crap in it, sleep on the ground, go to a place where there's no Wi-Fi. That's not what he's doing on this trip, but he does those trips too, where just he and a buddy go camping. I'm talking about real roughing it, the kind of stuff I wouldn't do, or going to a cabin and fishing for a week and catching all their meals, all that stuff. I feel like many people picture Andy like at Barnes and Noble with a pipe, reading a 700-page novel. But no, he's an outdoorsman.
He's always got the press shirts, really nice. Well, he is a news anchor, in his defense. I wouldn't.
He is.
I wouldn't have ever thought that about Andy the first time I met him, but we all have our. That's what's great though. Don't put people in a box, right?
Don't.
You can't judge the book by
They'll surprise you.
Absolutely.
That's
Let
true.
them surprise you.
Speaking of not judging books by their cover, Andrew Downs, producer of the Murph and Andy Show and putting together the More segment today. And also, AD, we have a fireworks giveaway to the Iowa Fireworks Farm, and I think it's $150, right?
That's right, yeah, $150 to the Iowa Fireworks Farm. Very easy to enter. We'll have a winner by the end of the show. However you're watching, hashtag Iowa Fireworks Farm. Just enter that in the comments, whether it's Facebook, X, YouTube. You'll be automatically entered, and we will remember, hopefully, to randomly pick a winner on Wednesday. It was
on me
show.
last time. I forgot.
We forgot, and I saw people commenting right as the show was ending, so I quickly did it and then put it up there. And thankfully, Ryan, who won, got a hold of me. He was still watching. He got a hold of me. He figured it out. So we're all good there. But, yeah, the Iowa Fireworks Farm just south of town here, and $150, not too bad. Good start for the 4th of July.
That's a great giveaway, but also it's kind of genius from Wade because I'm one of these people. I remember a long time ago, 30 years ago, I got a $50 gift card to Tate's Grocery. If you remember where that was, AD, you might, Chris, you probably don't. But Tate's became 42nd Street up in the Roosevelt neighborhood. It's now a Hy-Vee.
Yeah,
that was Tate's, and I was like,
Hy-Vee.
$50. I mean, 30 years ago, or it's more than 30, it's 35 years ago. And I didn't have much money at the time. I was like, $50. And I just loaded up that cart. And I remember checking out, and I was trying to hit it around 50, and it was like 137. Oh, yeah. I was like, I overshot the gift card here a little bit. And that's what's going to happen at the Iowa Fireworks Farm, too. You're probably going to blow right past 150.
Wade was showing me, have you ever seen the little Army guy ones where you fire it up and there's the parachutes? Have you ever seen those fireworks?
No, like from your childhood where the Army man would fall like a parachute?
Yeah, he's got these cakes that will release 250 little parachutes in one explosion. Wade sent me
Please use responsibly. Yeah. That's not the moose knuckle, is it?
And you better do that in a non-residential area because you're going to be clogging a lot of gutters with all these Army guys falling from the sky. If I did that, man. No, he's good.
Bang,
dude.
bang responsibly, please. All right, a table setter from Guest House Tavern and Oyster out in West Des Moines, where today's special is the surf and turf. The patio is open. It's a beautiful day out there. We were sitting up on the rooftop this morning and just taking it all in. It's a very nice day. Coming up, all-time chokes, Texas Tech heel turn, and the other football. Guest House Tavern and Oyster in West Des Moines with nightly specials like the surf and turf. Right now, let's catch the buzz.
The Buzz. Brought to you by Logier Heating and Cooling.
Logier Heating and Cooling, providing heating and cooling solutions to Des Moines area families like ours for 120 years. Want to start with a broader topic, but it goes back to Wednesday night where the Spurs did the unthinkable, blew a 29-point lead against the Knicks. My Monday pump the brakes take was, I don't think this series is over. I think the Spurs can come back and win this series, even though it's never happened when a team lost the first two at home. And then they won game 3. And I'm watching game 4, and we're about to have the visiting team win the first 4 games for the first time in NBA history. And they're up 27 at the half. Sipker goes off to see He-Man at a movie theater. because they're up by 27. And I'm feeling cocky. I'm feeling like this is one of my better takes. I don't see any way they can blow this. They blew it. The Spurs scored 76 points in the first half and 30 points in the second half. And Chris, in the history of basketball in the NBA, not just the finals, not just the playoffs, including the regular season, no team had ever scored 76 or more in the first half and then 30 or fewer in the second half. That's how historic this was. It took two things. It took somebody blowing it and somebody finding a way.
Especially in like the scoring era of the NBA too, right? Like this isn't to score 30 points and a half in an NBA game in 2026 with the amount of skill and the game is built for offense. Right? Like that's really hard to believe.
And the Spurs could not have played more foolishly. I mean, it's not to take away from the Knicks, because the Knicks deserve the credit for never giving up and finding a way. But the Spurs at one point, like up 20 in the second half, just kept jacking up threes and missing them. At one point, they took 8 straight threes. At one point, they took 5 threes with 10 or more seconds on the shot clock. I mean, it was just really stupid basketball, and only called one timeout during all those Knicks runs. And I mean, even Wembanyama, who's the face of the NBA moving forward, I think. I mean, he's shooting threes. He missed 2 free throws at a crucial time. And De'Aaron Fox, oh my gosh, he just kept making mistakes, like driving when he should have taken the ball back out. And there's any number of ways the Spurs could have won this. But how about OG Anunoby and the block here, and then moments later, that tip? That's one of the greatest tips I've ever seen. That'll be played as long as they play highlights in the NBA.
The difficulty of that play is way higher than what it probably looks like to most fans, too. Just to be able to tip that in the way that he did, with the lane clogged, with all those guys who are 6'8" or more, and the time. And my thought on that game, because I stopped watching it at about the 30-point mark too. Just like
did you go to He-Man?
I didn't go to He-Man, but I did go to put the 6-year-old to bed. And
that's better.
Keith, you've had young children before. You try not to be glued to your phone in these moments. Elise and I read. We like to read these little chapter books, and like she likes sports. We read sports books, and then so I start to get done, and I'm rubbing her back and doing our little thing, and then my phone, I have to pay attention because look, did somebody die? Like, why are all these people trying to contact me? And it was this comeback, and it was truly unbelievable and I wondered to myself, because it was so late with these East Coast games, I wondered to myself, is that one of the all-time great people wake up the next morning shocked sports of all time? Like, it has to be, right?
Wait till you hear when Sipker joins us later what it was like for him coming out of He-Man. Because, he was, when you checked your phone and you saw those texts, the series was over.
Yeah.
The game was over.
Yeah.
Wembanyama was maybe going to replace Jordan as the greatest player of all time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was feeling it, and I get it. I understand why he felt that way. But yeah, this is, again, it's not to take away from the Knicks, but the Spurs, Charles Barkley is right. I think he said, paraphrasing, they played like a bunch of idiots. I mean, to lose a 29-point lead, they were up 20 with under 10 minutes to go and lost with all that talent out there. So we have a quickie poll that's meant to meant for people to think this through a little bit. And there are others, but these are the 4 we picked. One of them is not fun to talk about.
Yeah, which is the biggest choke? The 2004 Yankees, the 2016 Falcons, the 2016 UNI basketball team in the NCAA tournament against Texas A&M, or the 2026 Spurs?
These are all, the one that's a little bit different is probably the Yankees, because each baseball game is its own game, and it's, even though no one had ever blown a 3-0 lead, and to blow it to the rival Red Sox of all teams, Yankee fans will never be over that. They were up 3-0 and they lost 4-3. First time that it ever happened. So that's considered by any Yankees fan or Red Sox fan a choke job. The Falcons 28-3 in the second half and found a way to lose. I understand why that's leading. You and I in the NCAA tournament. Look, we don't like this. No one, everybody I know likes and respects Ben Jacobson. The Panthers are not a team to pick on. Everybody liked that team. It's just 43 seconds up. What, AD, Chris? 13?
Yeah.
16? We watched that game
points?
together in Denver. Do you remember that?
I do.
There
was it
all those Iowa State fans around and like kind of cheering for Northern Iowa. Like it was a very positive. Oh,
I think it was 13 and 40 seconds. I mean, and then the final one on here is the Spurs. You're up 20 with under 10 minutes to go, up 29 in the second half. So, AD, let's start with you. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Spurs is premature just because they still have a chance to come back and win this series, and if they do, it changes this story. I don't think that'll happen. I didn't think it was going to happen going into that game. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes in history. The Yankees one is so hard because you got the Red Sox, a team that hasn't won a World Series in 80 years. It's your biggest rival. You're up 3-0. To lose 4 games in a row like that's pretty brutal. The Falcons, I give them a pass because you're playing against the greatest quarterback of all time and one of the greatest franchises ever in the Patriots.
Their game, the Falcons game you're talking about, AD, it ends up being similar to the Spurs in that not only do the Patriots have to do everything right, but the Falcons have to do everything wrong.
Yeah, the Falcons could melt on the ball all second half and won that game.
Pick up a first down. There's so many ways they can win that. And these aren't the 4 biggest choke jobs. I think they're just really high profile for us.
That UNI game, they couldn't get the ball in. It's hard to watch. It's hard to talk about. I understand why Panthers fans hate it. That's one of the biggest chokes in sports history.
I would guess that one statistically, you know how ESPN will do the what is
win probability?
I would guess the Northern Iowa one is the biggest. As far as whatever the percentage was that they were going to win would be the highest of those 3 because it came in such a short period of time.
I think the people who have voted so far, the majority here, have identified the 2 that are the most egregious, the Falcons at 28-3 and UNI. But I do think the most improbable is UNI. I mean, that didn't seem possible. In fact, it was so bad that now, it's the way it's changed history is now when a team keeps trying, even though they're down 13 inside of a minute, and you just want them to run the clock out, somebody will go, well, you remember what happened with you and I? Maybe it's not over yet. But yeah, it is over. It's always over with 38 seconds down 13. And I think the most amazing part of that is you and I scored in those final 38 seconds. And still it goes to overtime and then they lose. Is this the year they were coming off the half-court shot to get there?
Yep. They beat Texas in the first round with that half-court shot. And then should have beat Texas A&M to go to the Sweet 16 and did.
Oof.
Do you guys the one and it wasn't as high profile, but the 2015 Iowa State Kansas State game that got Paul Rhodes fired?
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
With all the fumbles in the last 5 minutes of the game. Again, that one I would guess the probability that Iowa State was going to win that at that point was higher than the other. The amount of I don't even remember it. I've tried to block, but it got Paul Rhodes fired. He was gonna, if they won that game, Paul Rhodes was not losing his job. And Mike Warren, that poor in Rhodes, he talked to me about this last summer when I was working on this chapter for my book, and he told me he still thinks about this at night, because it just impacted so many people. And he said that he was listening to his analytics guy who was telling him to still run the ball, even though they knew they probably should just down it and run out the clock. And they just kept fumbling. And it impacted. I mean, Matt Campbell's probably never the head coach at Iowa State if that loss doesn't happen. Think about it like that.
I remember saying after the game, and it got some attention. I remember saying I would not be surprised if Jamie Pollard came out on the field and just fired Paul Rhodes right there, because it's over. I mean, it's over. You don't come back from this. No. And you don't come back from that just because there were so many tactical errors there. And the Spurs have some of that, and the Falcons had some of that. I suppose the Yankees probably had the least, but man, those things, I'm not surprised Paul Rhodes couldn't. I mean, that would keep you up. I know it keeps Ben Jacobson up. I mean, he talks about it, and when he does, he says he took him a long time just to get back to not obsessing about what he could have done. I mean, he's a really good coach.
Yeah.
But he just second-guessed himself over and over again. What could I have done? What could I have done? And I think I'd be the same, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. And these guys are highly competitive. And you think about what it meant for Jacobson, too, to go to 2 Sweet 16s with that program. Think about it. That's a massive deal for a Missouri Valley team. And then Rhodes, literally lost his dream job. They were getting another year. It was Pollard told them before the game, if you guys win this game, we're going to, I don't know if they were going to get extended or what. And it was okay, now I have an elderly father, all these things that are, it's not surprising to me that they, think about that Mike Warren kid kept fumbling the ball. He's a good running back. He just couldn't hold on to the ball. Total
it was a car crash in slow motion. It was bad. All right, Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston became the first WNBA teammates to have 30-point double-doubles in the same game. The WNBA, not everybody's aware of this, but it's been around for 30 years. They're the first to do it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, first to have 30-point double-doubles in the same
30 years?
game. Are you saying it? Am I serious? WNBA?
I cannot believe it's been around for that long. God, I'm old.
It's in its 30th year. It's in its 30th year. And a stat that maybe is even more impressive, 30 years. All right, Caitlin Clark last night had her third 30 or more points, 10 or more assists in one game. She did that for the third time in her career. The rest of WNBA history, 4 times. All players combined. She's done it 3 times in 3 years. The rest of all the players in the 30 years, 4 times. And I don't even think she's playing near at her best level either. I mean,
I'm just glad we're talking about basketball with this league again.
Yeah, yep. We needed that. A week ago, we were stuck in the churn again.
We needed that shot to go down on Monday night that she hit. That was a big deal because it was
31-footer to win it. Yeah, and clearly the play was drawn up for Kelsey Mitchell too.
Which again, it's what?
What?
You give me that stat though, and I can't stop thinking they probably should have put her on that Olympic team. It feels like a little bit of a smidge of a miss, in my opinion.
But only if you wanted more people to pay attention. That'd be the only reason. Texas Tech makes a heel turn from disruptor to defiantly oblivious. And we talk about the bubble a lot on this show, and I know you and Chris Hassel do on Two Guys. And it's simply when you are in an echo chamber and you keep hearing the same things, you keep hearing your own opinion said back to you, especially if you're powerful. So you mistakenly think that everybody else feels like this, and you don't realize that they don't. And Texas Tech, since they told their quarterback, their reported $5 million quarterback, that he can play, since a retired judge ruled for him in the injunction and said you can play because it would harm your career and your mental health if you didn't get to play. So despite breaking at least 3 laws, illegal gambling, false ID, because he created proxy betting in another state, and underage gambling at 2 different states, Ohio and Indiana, despite breaking those 3, betting thousands of times, including more than 40 times on his own team including at least one bet against his own team, and nearly $100,000 in wagers, and never coming forward and saying, I've got a problem, but being caught, and then saying, I need to address this problem. Despite all of that, when this one judge surprised everybody and said, yeah, you need to play or it could be bad for you, Texas Tech seems shocked that it's one of the all-time consensus opinions that anyone not wearing Texas Tech colors thinks this is one of the worst things that's ever happened to the sport, because it's the one cardinal rule. It's black and white. You don't do it. No one has ever done this in sport and then been returned to the field. Well, and they're digging in, Chris.
Well, so this video they put out last night. Did you watch the 21 minutes?
No, I don't know how much longer I have. Even if it's only 25 years, I'm not wasting 22 minutes on that.
Well,
or 21.
Can somebody explain to me this theme of these athletic directors and stuff, like sitting at the table by themselves, or like, so this was first of all, it looked like this video. I don't know if we have like a photo of it we can put up.
We do. Let's go to this. So let's get to a couple of points here. First, the Texas Attorney General sent a letter to the Big 12 saying if the Big 12 takes action, if the league tries to sanction Texas Tech, they're going to be sued. So they've thrown down the gauntlet. Like, we dare you, Big 12. Try to do something. We will drag you right back into court. So there's that. The appeal isn't scheduled until February. And even if they move that appeal up, the 4 justices are all Texas Tech alums. So that's probably not going to go well. Anyway, I know this sounds made up, but this is all true. So here's head coach Joey McGuire. Now keep in mind, Brendan Sorsby has signed a paper a long time ago at all these places saying he understands he can't gamble, can't wager on NCAA football. He knows all of this. There's no surprise here. And Texas Tech a year ago was one of the schools calling for more stringent rules against gambling. So here's the head coach.
Brendan Sorsby is recovering from an addiction. He's recovering. I've sat down with this young man multiple times, and the things that he is going through and what he's been through is serious. As a society, we've been okay with other things that happens and allowing players to play, and this has been the one thing that has united people that we're against, and it's crazy because it's not murder, it's not beating somebody, so there's a lot of things that we're working through.
This is just ridiculous. Of course, murder is worse than betting on football games. Of course, beating someone or beating a woman is worse, but those don't threaten the competitive integrity of the sport. And he knows that, and so does everybody else at Texas Tech. It's just crap you're saying to your fans and your supporters. It's a false equivalency, and he knows that.
Do you think – okay, that was where I was going to ask you, because when we talk about bubbles, because sometimes you can start with something and be like, yeah, we know we're being political, and then you can – but we've seen this where they'll talk themselves into it, and then eventually they actually believe what they're saying. I think this happens with politicians all the time. Like where
it does.
They don't actually think something, but then, they keep going on cable TV, and when you say it over and over again, it gets stronger. They get more bombastic with their delivery. And then 2 years later, it's like, yeah, I seen this with all my pro wrestlers, right? Where eventually Ric Flair believes he is the nature boy. They fall into this where they really believe it. Do you believe what Coach McGuire, do you think that he actually believes that at this point? Or do you think he's still full of it?
I think he has convinced himself the way fans convince themselves, because hypocrisy is everywhere here. If this was Arch Manning at Texas, all of these Texas Tech fans and administrators would have a completely different opinion. And many fans of many schools would have the same opinion these Texas Tech fans did if they thought their quarterback might deliver a championship. So we're all on some level hypocrites when it comes to sports, and it can be blinding. And politics is the same way. You keep looking for people to tell you your already formed opinion, your confirmation bias or your desirability bias. You sit around and you watch Fox News all day, or you watch whatever MSNBC calls itself these days, and you're in that echo chamber and you feel like, these people get it.
Yeah,
they get it. Why don't these? This is how I feel. This is right. Yeah, it's right. Well, you completely miss the discourse. And I think, Chris, social media has made that worse than ever because your algorithms fill up with your opinion, or
and half the
with
time
people
it's
that
fake.
are so far the other direction that angers you and triggers you. So you get these lunatic fringes, and you think that's what the whole world is. And right now, I think Texas Tech is in this echo chamber of, we're just trying to support this young man. He's got an addiction. And I think on some level, it's a little bit dangerous to equate. I mean, sports gambling addiction is real. I don't doubt that.
No doubt.
I know you can get addicted to the stuff. It does happen. But to equate it so closely to alcoholism or drug addiction, I mean, this is a guy that got caught, and there is absolutely no reason to believe that his addiction is helped if he's able to play quarterback for Texas Tech. That's not treating the problem. That's just conveniently trying to get him back on the field. Because if Texas Tech is being authentic, you can help Brendan Sorsby and support Brendan Sorsby in all the ways you're saying, but still say, he broke a cardinal rule. We can't let him play this fall, but we're going to support him. You could even give him the money. They seem to have so much money. You could say, look, we're even going to give him the NIL. That's how much we care about him, but he can't play. He can't play. He broke our rules. He broke the NCAA rules. We respect the NCAA's decision. We're not going to just go along with one retired judge in Lubbock County who said, you know what? I'm worried about his mental health if he doesn't play. They know all that. They don't care. And Chris, I'm not even sure Sorsby is this good.
That's the weird thing. There's a lot of these side parts to this, and I have that jotted down. Is he even that good? Is this even worth it? The other thing is that it's just so weird to me because do you remember 10 days ago, we were talking about the Sarkisian comments about Texas Tech? The whole country was like, yeah, let them play in week 1. This will be great. Quit dodging them, Texas. Right?
Yeah.
Tech was this lovable little guy. You've got this cool kind of billionaire guy who's trying to buck the system, and right? It was like this, and it's completely.
Yeah, now he's changed the first letter of Buck.
Yeah, no kidding. You've been around this a lot longer than me. Can you remember any time where everybody in college athletics agrees on anything? Like they do this, at least publicly?
No, this is a united front. I mean, for across the board. And I think what so many people maybe get the most frustrated by is Texas Tech continuing to try to sell this. Look, we're just trying to support him. I mean, we're standing behind this young man. Well, you can support him and stand behind him and help him with his addiction without putting him back on the football field. And they have to know that. The 22-minute video you referenced with McGuire, the AD, the head coach, and the president. Here's President Lawrence Chovanec.
Now, we did ask the NCAA to consider modifying or changing their policies when we wrote that letter welcoming him back. But I think we have to recognize that the rules in place now were made long before there were millions of young people walking around with a legal gambling apparatus in their pocket, and that our consideration today needs to take into account the fact of medically diagnosed conditions and the circumstances in which they live. And so I'm very proud to be sitting here with these colleagues supporting Brendan, but that support goes way beyond this room.
No wonder somebody sounds like they're grabbing his balls, because I mean, he's too smart to believe that. Yes, it is easy to gamble, and there are concerns, and that's why it is pounded in their heads over and over again, including signing papers, that they understand there's one thing they can't do. Can't do it. I mean, there are a lot of temptations out there that you can't do, and there have to be consequences. And there are no consequences here. You have kids. Like if you take something away from one of your kids as punishment, and then a judge rules that, hey, we just really are concerned if she doesn't get to watch Disney Plus, it's going to be bad for her mental health. You're going to have to let her watch it. You have to take the punishment away. It's silly. I still think Texas Tech will give in to this pressure because I don't think it's going to let up. I don't think he's going to play, but I'm less sure than I was a couple of days ago.
So
because Tech is digging in.
A couple of points I would make here. One is the look of this video is horrific. It reminded me of the Seinfeld episode where Kramer refuses to get the mail, and the postmaster general comes in and is interrogating him. This is and I'm not a visual guy, Keith. I lean on you guys all the time because I'm a audio, I'm a blogger. Back before we did video, I would do these podcasts in my underwear, and you guys never even knew it, okay? But this just looks so bad with these 4 or 5 dudes who are all in this bunker together, sitting around this table. You want to talk about an echo chamber? Let's go down to Lubbock, Texas, and sit in on this thing real quick. Because I think
this looks like an episode of Landman.
It's just, and I think the guy on the right is like their Gary Dolphin or John Walters. I think. I don't know that, but
I don't know.
This is such a bad trend, and we were both critical of Pollard when he did this a couple of months ago with the women's basketball thing, and because you and me had the same commentary. It's like Jamie Pollard is so good at just responding to people and just being on his toes and reacting. That's where he thrives.
Transparency is one of his strengths.
Yeah,
he'll tell you what he's thinking.
Absolutely. And when you do something like Texas Tech did here, it makes you look more guilty, in my opinion. Answer if you feel this strongly, this school president talked for 5 minutes about their addiction recovery program in Lubbock, Texas, and how it's world renowned, and people come to us, and that's fantastic. We should be beating.
Don't have to play football though.
Absolutely. I don't know. This was one of the worst forms of public because they're trying to put out a fire here. Is what they're trying to do, and all they've done is make it worse. It's a little bit. We talked about this with the Fever pulling that guy's credential a couple weeks ago. It's I had forgotten about the Caitlin Clark load management story. I hadn't thought about that in days, and all of a sudden they pull this guy's credential. It's back in the news cycle. Everybody's talking about it. And what they did here was they just threw gasoline on this thing because now, it just when you got 5 dudes sitting around the table who all agree with each other, it just makes it look like you're hiding something even more.
Texas Tech is the favorite right now to win the Big 12 football championship, which is football is everything in Texas, and it's the most important at any power conference school. It's the most important sport. We get that. It's the revenue generator, and it pays for most everything else except men's basketball. So they're the favorite. Are they the favorite to win the Big 12? Okay,
they are.
If Sorsby doesn't,
a significant favorite,
a strong favorite, because they've got the money, and they're. I know they didn't do well in the playoff, but the Texas Tech, you could see when they were healthy during the season, this is a team that could go in there and get to the championship game possibly. So Texas Tech, take Sorsby off the team. You know the Big 12 better than I do. Take him off the team. Aren't they still the favorite?
Yes. I mean, their backup, Hammond, was a 5-star recruit out of the state of Texas. Hammond, I would guess, is making more than every quarterback at Iowa or Iowa State combined. I mean, I'm serious. I bet they have. I bet they have $8 million into that quarterback room in Lubbock. This Hammond's really, but he's coming off of an injury, but he should be able to play early in the year. And I don't know, The other thing here is like Texas Tech is so obsessed with being one of the big guys, right? In college football, and great, like that. The system allows Cody Campbell to do this, and like this is what we're playing in. Like, go for it. I have no problem with it. The problem is like what they're doing right now, Keith. When this TV thing happens in 7 years or whatever, they are getting to a point right now where the Big Ten and the SEC would never even consider them for this Super League. Just the way that they have responded here, I feel like they're almost talking themselves out of future Super League consideration if we were to ever get to that point. And what do you do right now if you're Brett Yormark? That's another thing that's really
it's a tough spot because you can make the case that Texas Tech is the Big 12's most important player because
and
of
Cody
the money.
Campbell.
Yeah, because they are thought to be the biggest threat to make a college football playoff run, which is really important to the Big 12. I still go back, partly because I was watching with Colin, who was going to Arizona State at the time, but Arizona State had Texas beat. I mean, they should have won that game, and that would have done so much for the Big 12. I mean, they had them beat, and then
that was a terrible call,
13
too.
Or so. Oh my gosh,
that was a terrible.
That would have helped.
Yeah,
but the Big 12 needs a team to make a run, and Tech is most likely to do that. And yeah, Yormark's in a tough spot here because he doesn't want to get sideways with Texas Tech, but he also knows the other 15 schools do not want Sorsby playing. And I think it should go without saying, no one is rooting against Brendan Sorsby's recovery, and I hope he gets a shot in the NFL. And I don't think this should, end his life or send him to prison or any of those things, but he can't play college football. I mean, he can't play college football again, or you've made a mockery of the most important rule, which is preserving the competitive integrity. It wouldn't even be fair to him if he throws an interception, if he in a key spot. The speculation would immediately be like, is he gambling again? Has he got a problem? What's he doing? He had a terrible game. They can't let him play again.
If he does play, this young man is going to be one of the most taunted and hated individuals in the history of the sport. Like, I mean, this guy, he's lucky he's not a college basketball player. I mean, I remember when Pierre Pierce came to Hilton that one time.
Oh, yeah.
And that obviously is a very extreme, but I'm saying in college basketball, they're right on top of you. It's a little bit different.
Right.
But this Sorsby thing, what I would like to hear from him too. And it wouldn't change my opinion, but it feels like we've got a bunch of like legal, just talking through let's put a face with this guy. Like I haven't seen him talk, and they're going to say, well, he's recovering. The other thing that sucks about this is there are people who really are recovering from this. And
absolutely.
It's a very real thing that we're kind of just figuring out in this country. There's a lot of stuff we're just figuring out because we don't have a ton of data about what having a cell phone 24 hours a day for over the course of 20 years will do to your brain. We don't have a lot of this data. We just legalized sports gambling not that long ago.
Right.
So like there are people who really are suffering from this that, they're not going to get, is that going to pay their mortgage when they, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with it, but I don't want to minimize it either because it's a real thing. But like you've noted very well, this is what separates us from the WWE, okay? Like you can't question if the results are real. And if that's the case, the whole thing absolutely blows up, which is why there's no other entity in the world, sports-wise, that allows their players to gamble on the games they are participating in.
Right. It's any sport, anywhere, at any level, it's been the one no-no. And Texas Tech is being disingenuous when it says, well, the judge said he can play. We need to abide by that, and we need to support Brendan. Even though the judge said that, you can show respect for your governing body, the NCAA, which banned him. You don't have to accept it. You can still support him. You can still pay him. You're right, though, about Tech and PR. This has been textbook bad crisis management, bad PR. At every step, they're doing the wrong thing. Sorsby needs to sit down and talk to somebody who will ask tough, open-ended questions and he can answer them. That 5-man landman scene at the conference table there, they needed to do a Q&A, answer the questions. Don't try to present everything.
And the guy who was doing the panel, it was like watching Dolph at Carlos O'Kelly's with Steve Alford,
Do you remember about a year ago when maybe a little over a year when Chris Doyle contacted me and said he wanted to sit down and answer all the questions?
Absolutely.
And we talked back and forth, and I said there's no questions that can't be asked. I will be fair. I want to ask all the questions, and he was fine with that. And it was uncomfortable for him at times. But do you know how many minds were changed and how many people saw him differently after that 45-minute interview? I mean, I heard from so many people, and I know he did too. It didn't change everybody's mind, but it changed a lot of minds because instead of a statement out, you actually got to hear from him. And he got to explain some things. And he got
sometimes
to...
That's
what you need.
Like time and actions are what we really need. Like one guy who I feel like has done this pretty well is Michael Vick over the years. I mean, his name was trash. Like you could go near Michael Vick when that whole deal started. The other one I would point out is Kyle Larson, the NASCAR driver.
Yep.
Man, 2020, George Floyd, our country's spot, COVID.
Yep.
Everybody's sitting around and listen, it was wrong, but Kyle has spoken time and time again, and you could tell how it killed him. He kind of went on this redemption tour for a year, right? He gets kicked out, he all of a sudden the new documentary about him on Amazon Prime is really good, and it digs into this, and you see it, you can see the hurt in his eyes and how much he's grown up and learned from it. Sometimes it just takes time to do these things. You can't just throw the Texas Tech president up there and, everything's great because we have a great addiction program here in Lubbock.
Right. And we're all I'm not the worst thing. I'm not just the worst thing I've ever done. We've all done stupid things and made big mistakes. I mean, I think about some of the dumb things I've done or the bad decisions I've made, and it's what was I thinking? And you try to learn from it, go forward, and be a better person. And I hope Sorsby does that. I wonder where his parents are. I don't know anything about him other than the football player, but as parents, we wouldn't go along with our son with this Texas Tech thing. We'd be like, look, you knew better and you got caught. And it wasn't like a one-time Noah Shannon bet on the NCAA women's basketball tournament. It was thousands of bets at 3 different schools. And in Texas, you're not even allowed to bet. So he had to create proxies and send money across state lines to have betting done from other states. I mean, he is not a victim. And Texas Tech keeps talking to us like Brendan Sorsby is a victim. He is not a victim. His life shouldn't be over. His football career doesn't have to be over. He can go on and do great things, but stop talking to us like he's a victim and we all need to have compassion.
And then again, how they've kind of turned here, because now it looks, I thought if you had talked to me a year ago or even 6 months ago, to me, I was rooting for Texas Tech because I thought it was really cool that the Landman School, they've got this rich guy and they can go in there and just compete with LSU because, hey, we're taking advantage of what we have. And I'm like, man, I kind of like these guys. This is kind of fun. Let's see if they can pull it off. Well, now it looks like, you've got the rich billionaire who's trying to rewrite college. He's paying off judges, right? It just turned really ugly, really, really fast, which is really unfortunate. And I don't know if it's the best thing for Sorsby at this point to, like you were saying from a parent standpoint, I don't know if I would want my kid to, what Texas Tech should do is say, We'll pay him. We're going to get him treated. He can train here at Texas Tech all season long. He can be a part of our team. We're going to love him like a brother, but he's not going to play a snap of football for us.
They completely changed the narrative with all of that. And they look like they're doing the right thing, not just for Texas Tech, not just for the good of college football, but they would look like they're doing the right thing for Brendan Sorsby.
Absolutely.
If he truly is an addict, and that's just not something created to try to make it more pleasing to put him back out there, if he truly is an addict, then it's going to be better for him to not be involved in these competitive football games for a little while he is getting treated. All right, let's move. Let's lighten it up here on a fun Friday here. High or low since the last show?
Presented by Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax.
Well, Charter Retirement and Tax, helping Chris Williams build a media empire. Do you just send like a truck of money over there every week to Wealth Charter?
I wish.
Oh,
that
okay.
Tim
Well,
would make
hang in
me. That Tim would make me rich. He's sharp.
He's a sharp guy.
Man, he's sharp.
He is a sharp guy. All right, I'm gonna go. I'll go first. I'm going high and low on the same thing. So the high is the street party tonight on Court Avenue between 3rd and 4th, and Jenny and I are doing happy hour from the Fan Zone street party. We'll be out in front of Annie's. It's 6:30. But the low is the promotional photos coming out of there on this. All right, so I know this is actually the United States home kit, but I look like I'm in my pajamas or something here. Jenny still looks cute. I don't look good. And I'm already feeling like, boy, this is not a good look here. And then Hassel sends me a close-up of this photo and says I look like a hot air balloon.
He's such a dick.
He is such a dick. And I don't even know if that's the actual zoom in. Because like once in a while, he sent a photo to everybody one time, and I didn't notice until it got really ridiculous that each time he sent it, my eyes were more closed and puffy until it looked like they were sewn shut.
That's what he's doing with me, though. If you notice these images, I get fatter every time. There's always like an extra 10 pounds. I swear he has like...
You're like
his,
4'10".
Yeah, his Chat GPT, he has it like every time. He's like, all right, make that guy 15 pounds heavier. Make his chin just a little bit larger.
High or low for you?
I'll go high. Just weird.
Is this the Turtles?
Well, no, it's not. Although that's high because you know how much I love coaching those kids. But my daughters are their dance recitals all weekend, and while it's tough, I sit through 4 of them. It's a long weekend, but isn't it fun watching your kids do stuff they love? Like, isn't it just
Absolutely.
like the greatest feeling in the entire world when you watch them up there? And I know what I wanted to do too. Till the Cyhawk thing on my daughter. We just got back from Iowa City the other day, and her doctor Marconde, who works with her, she was born with a club foot condition. I mean, that guy is unbelievable. And I put out a post about him and the amount of the dozens of people who have taken their kids to this guy. And I know, Keith, you've done a lot of work with them over there at the Children's Hospital in Iowa City. But yeah, it's just watching my daughter, who's 11, dance, and she's really good. And the amount of nights that I held her screaming because her foot hurt so bad when she was little, and she's in these casts and these braces, and like it's really a high for me. I'm not a big dance guy, but it's fun to watch her perform.
And you probably said or thought in some of those tough moments when she was in pain and when she has a club foot and she's worried she's never going to be able to walk right. At some point, you probably said, we're going to get all through this, and one day you'll dance. And now look at her. She is dancing.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. We used to, the nights were so bad. I would basically, the only way I could get her to fall asleep, it'd be like 3-8, because she was just in pain, is load her up in the truck, and I would have to drive from Bondurant to the Capitol and back and just pray she would fall asleep. Like, that was it. And then she's going to be a junior black belt in like a year. Like, can you imagine that for that little girl that couldn't even walk? So it's pretty cool stuff.
They do great work over there.
Oh.
Boy, you're not the only one to go over there and get help and then think, okay, this softens me on the Hawkeyes a little bit.
It does. Yeah. Like we do this thing as our family too, and they love it, is we all wear Cyclone stuff when we go.
Yeah.
It's just tradition. We know whenever it's time for Cameron's checkups, we all put on a Cyclone shirt, and they love it. It's what this is all about. Like we talk about this Texas Tech stuff. It feels like all summer's just been heavy. Can't lose track of what that's about.
Well, I'll tell you something that's not heavy, and that's Chris Hassel. So Hassel fascinates people. I get asked questions about him all the time. Of course,
Me too.
You know, we had all the years on Sound Off and at WHO 13 together, and now he's on. But he's for the longest time, he's this figure people are trying to figure out. Like, is he a nice guy, or is he a jerk? What is he really like? So with you two and your show, Two Guys, and by the way, I was looking at the numbers today. My gosh, you guys average like 30,000 people a show. I mean, that like there are newscasts that would like to have those numbers. I mean, that's a lot of people each show. I know sometimes people see that they're watching live and they see the YouTube number of the people watching
that's
live
not
now.
the
And
actual.
they think that's the podcast number, but we're on so many platforms. You
have to,
guys
like,
are
add 'em
averaging
all
like
up.
30,000 people a show. That's it's really impressive. So you've got a hit show. You two are so good together. What do people ask you about Chris?
The same thing that you just said, like they can't decide if they love or hate him all the time.
I feel that way sometimes. Like I'll get a text message from him. I'll be like,
but you said it best. You sum it up the best is he's somehow more natural on air than he is, not natural, less awkward than he is in person.
Yeah.
Like, cause
he's the only person I've ever known that is truly more comfortable on air than off.
Like he'll just do this. Like, well, I remember when we were down in Florida this January, and we were watching the Iowa Rutgers game, and and he's passionately rooting for the Hawkeyes. It's good for him to have Hawkeye basketball back in his life, right? And I don't even know what I was doing. Like I just wasn't like that into the game at this moment. And he just looks at me and goes, "What the hell is wrong with you?" Like he was like offended that I wasn't so as locked into this game that he was. But it's not a show. Like he really is curious. Like it's just, and then you talk about like he's texting you like the squinty eyes, and I can see it when he's doing this to me. I can see his eyes just lighting up. How he's just trolling you, and he would just love to see your response to what he's doing. Like it.
Oh, and you can tell when he's bored because he just won't stop texting.
Yeah, yeah, and he's usually having
he's got that,
steeple ridge at the pool.
He's got that CBS Sports money, and that what's he work there like 2 hours a day, and then he just sits by the pool.
He's a national sports. He is a national sports personality. Like he's a professional. The thing that has fascinated me with this show is the majority of Iowa State fans love him now. The ones that don't are the bunker. They're the people who are like a lot of the burners that are just so entrenched, right? And I'm guessing that he's not that popular up in Ames with a lot of people up there. The bubble type folks,
people. Yes,
they can't. But when he comes up to Ames, and it's about once a year, and he'll stay with us at the village up there. He is so popular. People want to talk to him, and that's what's been fun about our show is he genuinely has a huge fan base within Iowa State because he calls it how it is. He criticizes when it's necessary, and he gives them credit too. Sure, he's going to troll them, but that's kind of part of the deal, right? But he gives them credit. You can
see him winking when he does that.
Absolutely. It's not mean-spirited.
If you pay attention, you can see the difference between Chris jokingly trolling and a real take.
Yeah, but that to me, it's why the show's done so well. I benefited because I had 7 years on KXNO where I hope I hope that I proved to Hawkeye fans that I could have intelligent conversations about them without being a jerk. And of course, I'm an Iowa State guy. I'm not going to ever deny that. But that Chris thing, it was funny, like, because when we started doing the show, there was a lot of like, oh, that guy's a jerk and all that. People love him now up at Iowa State.
Well, he when people ask me and they're sincere about it, Chris Hassel is one of the most genuinely nice and thoughtful people I've ever had in my life. I love the guy. He is immensely talented. He is more talented than many people who have appeared on Saturday Night Live. He has been underutilized at both ESPN and CBS, but this guy can do anything in broadcasting, play-by-play, skits, sports anchoring. He's a podcast, obviously, radio shows. I mean, he should be like a Mike Tirico level broadcaster for CBS because he's that good. And he's handsome. So he's got all of that going for him.
I don't know if I'll go that far.
Yeah, he's got all that going for him, but he is intensely loyal. He's actually a really good guy, and he's actually like thoughtful and moderate on almost anything. But man, he is so good about poking people that even though I just said all of that, occasionally I'll be like, is Chris mad at me? Or does Chris still like me? You know, because he'll get on one of those tears where he gets into
well,
but he's joking.
And Chris doesn't do anything like halfway.
Oh,
so
no.
like when he's committed to mocking you with the squinty eyes or me making me fat, like he's going all in on it.
Yep. He gets after it. All right. We have Scott School.
Nice.
We're running kind of long here. I guess that's not a surprise. We have Scott School. We have the Stupid Quickie poll. And I miss AD. AD, we didn't put you to sleep, did we? You still there?
Hey, Canada's kicking off right now.
What's up?
Oh, yeah. We'll keep an eye on that.
Did you know that
AD,
Bosnia had a second country?
I've missed you. Yeah,
Bosnia?
we don't have time for that crap.
Did you know
we'll
that?
be back with more on Murph and Andy.
Iowa Fireworks Farm is Iowa's largest fireworks store. 6,000 square feet of hand-picked fireworks, over 50 brands, and 1,300 different products to choose from. But they're also family-owned and operated. Iowa Fireworks Farm is the one stop you need to make before July 4th. You'll find them just south of the Metro. Take I-35 to exit 43 at New Virginia. Head east and look for the Big Red Barn. At Iowa Fireworks Farm, the toughest part will be deciding what not to buy.
The biggest party of the year is here. Zach Brown Band Love and Fear Tour, presented by Margaritaville at Sea. Friday, November 20th, KC Center. Zach Brown Band. With special guest, Grace Potter. Tickets are on sale now at ZachBrownBand.com.
And a little bit of chicken fried.
Don't miss Zach Brown Band Love and Fear live.
That's right.
Nostalgia THC fruit seltzers in quirky flavors like orange dreamsicle, caramel apple, and grape soda. Refreshing taste, cosmic vibes for your mind. Pick your groove.
Scott School is cool. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to
Hi,
Scott
Scott.
School. Today we have a visual aid. People don't understand why the British pound is made with the LB, which of course works for our system of weights and measures as well. But it was an ancient Rome term for libra pondo, meaning pound of weight. Then people started to write it with a cross at the top to show that it was a contraction. And then people started writing it a little bit in cursive with a line like this. And then eventually they started writing it like that, and then they wrote it like this. And that's the history of the pound sign. That's Scott School.
Scott School is cool. Yeah.
Well, there's no doubt that's the most work you've ever put into Scott School. So nicely done there. Scott School is presented by Carbless Premium Handcrafted Cocktails. We have a stupid quickie poll, and it is stupid.
If the cost of surgery was covered, how much would it take for you to sell your appendix? $10,000, $100,000, $1 million, or I'm not selling that puppy at any price.
All right, AD, what's it going to take?
I mean, I don't have an appendix. They didn't tell me, but they took it out when they did my colon surgery a couple years ago.
Oh.
It's called a incidental appendectomy. When they're in there, they just slice that puppy out. If I did have one, I'd give it away for 10 G's. Absolutely.
So
I don't need it.
You don't need your appendix. It's got to serve some purpose.
It's vestigial, as they say.
What does that mean?
It's useless.
We've outgrown it.
Yeah, we
used
don't
to
need
do
it
something,
anymore.
We don't know what. We've evolved beyond
So
it.
you're saying through evolution we have outgrown
Like
our
rabbits
need
have
for an
one and they
appendix?
need it. Yeah, we don't need it.
All
It's
right, so AD
leftover.
would, if he had an appendix,
Yeah.
AD doesn't have one to sell you, $10,000. Chris, what's it take?
Well, I mean, can you scope it? They don't have to like make a big incision anymore, do they?
No, they can go in, I think, with a couple pokes.
10 grand. I mean, if you take 10 grand and you put that in like a S&P 500 fund, that thing can grow. You go on a
Take it to
couple
Wealth
of badass
Charter.
vacations for that. I don't need that damn appendix. Give me 10 grand. I'll do it.
I'm going $1 million.
What?
I mean, to have surgery
Murph
and
wouldn't
take out
bend
my
over to pick up
appendix.
10 G's on the sidewalk.
See, there's 10 G's right here on the floor now. I just noticed it. I'm not picking that up.
That's what he uses for toilet paper.
Yeah. I'll go $1 million. $100,000. I mean, I could use $100K, but I don't want to go have my appendix taken out.
It's only like a 3-day recovery.
Yeah, it's
Keith.
not that bad.
But
I would definitely do it for 100. 10 seems a little to like get put under.
You do it for 100?
For 100 for sure. But 10
See, I
to
don't
me
even.
is on the
How would I
line.
even know that they actually took it out? For the longest time, I believed the guy in the commercial had a vasectomy. It was all a lie. He was sitting in a
peas.
chair. He was sitting on a bag of peas. He tried to sell me on, you can get a vasectomy, you watch the whole NCAA tournament, do what I did, get a vasectomy. But Chris Williams, you haven't had a vasectomy.
Scott, can you back me on this? I was a paid working actor.
Yeah.
Like, of all the roles you haven't had a lot of them since I beat you out
Jesus.
in college. But of all the roles, like, it doesn't, just because you're a paid working actor, like, if you get hired to be a construction worker on a commercial, you actually have to be a construction worker. Why did I have to get a vasectomy to play that role?
I think it's because you were playing yourself in that commercial. It didn't feel
That
like you were
wasn't my
playing a
wife.
character.
There was some random woman who I just met for the 2-hour shoot. She was
I've
not
been
my
out
wife.
with you on Court Ave. I know. You're a ladies' man.
My wife's probably going to watch this, Scott.
Sorry,
You want to clarify that I'm not out there cheating on her?
Sorry,
God.
took that too far. My bad.
You often
You should
do.
get a vasectomy, though. I'm
I
surprised
don't
you
need
haven't.
to. We did in vitro fertilization. We do not need a vasectomy. And I don't plan on having sex with others.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a really
It's good.
good
It's
point.
good. That's why the show is here, to get these thoughts out there.
Just
to
one
say
of these
things
times you
publicly.
might be surprised all of a sudden.
My wife,
boom.
I could have sex with my wife 50 times this month and she will not get pregnant.
Well, good luck.
That ain't
hope
gonna
you do.
happen.
It just went down to
I mean, I
zero.
hope- yeah. Yeah.
And I'm
I hope
partly to
she's not
blame.
watching. As,
Oh, sorry, Ashley.
do we give enough credit to the only person known to have ever had a vasectomy live on the air as Andy Fales?
That was one of those things that was ahead of its time. If he would to have done that now, or we could clip it up and put it into a vertical video.
Oh, it got clipped up.
Just think if we could have streamed it.
He wasn't streaming afterwards, you know. But I think that thing should have gone viral. But we were just ahead of our time on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were.
Just think if
All right,
he's
Scott.
holding his cell phone while he's getting the vasectomy. And he's
Yeah, because
live.
he was on the phone while the doctor was
Yeah.
down there going, ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding, ding.
And the doctor grabbed the phone. We wanted to make sure he was gloved up, and he was. But that was and Andy was on the show back in studio by the end
Yeah.
of the show. That did more to promote how easy a vasectomy is than anything. And at one point, we played Guess Whose Birthday while he was getting a vasectomy.
Do you have a
And then the-
vasectomy, Keith?
That's iconic.
No.
AD, do you have one?
No.
I've been thinking about
He
it.
doesn't have an appendix, though.
Scott, you can't do that. I'm telling
You
you.
see on the
can't do it.
dating apps, sometimes the ladies will put my biggest turn on, a vasectomy.
Really?
Well, they don't want to get
God,
pregnant.
I don't understand your life. I don't think I could do it.
Anyone can do what I do.
These apps, like you're on that grinder all the time, right? Like you just
No, but I bet
constantly-
Grindr is firing off as Pride Weekend goes up. It's a lot of people coming into town, so it's a prime night for Grindr activity, I would imagine.
Street party. You going to the street party?
I'll be
Soccer
down there.
street party.
Let's
You're
go,
wearing
America.
the USA kit.
USA.
That isn't
This-
a USA kit. It doesn't have those stripes on it like Keith did in the promo.
This is the one
the
from
home
2
kit?
World Cups ago, and this one is nice. I like this one.
I like that one better than the Where's Waldo, as somebody put it in the comments. Speaking of USA, so the UFC at the White House Sunday
yeah.
night. This looks pretty cool. I mean, it almost looks Photoshop that this this
think it looks
arena
awesome.
and cage is in front of the White House. But it does look cool. How's the card?
The fights are pretty good. I think when we first heard they were going to do a White House card on the president's birthday, that it would be just top tier. Maybe Conor McGregor, John Jones would be fighting again. But we didn't get that. But what they did do is stack the card with bangers. Like guys who aren't going to crotch sniff for 15 minutes. They're going to stand in the octagon and they're going to be trading blows. The Ilya Topuria, who is going to probably be the next big UFC star, he is headlining this. He's a huge Spanish star. He'll probably sell out the place where Real Madrid fights for his next fight. That's how big of an international star he is. I'm hopeful this is going to make him cooler in the eyes of the average sports fan, and he's going to probably knock the American Justin Gaethje out in what will be. Gaethje will stand there. They will.
Gaethje's still going?
He's the interim champion right now. Because Ilya Topuria had this really nasty divorce, so he had to step away.
He's like our
for
age.
a while. Yeah.
God.
And then there's a
Who
heavyweight
broadcast
fight.
This
This is
who's
going to be on
broadcast?
Paramount Plus.
So it's not pay-per-view, but you need Paramount Plus.
Correct. Originally,
which
they
we
were
do
going to
have.
put it on CBS, which I thought, oh, that's awesome. We're going to grow the fandom of UFC in America. But no, it's going to be on Paramount Plus.
Do you think these guys? Here's what's interesting. The card does not interest me that much, but you got a lot of these UFC guys who will wear like the MAGA hats and stuff, right? Like that.
Not so much anymore. But
Well, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Like, what are they worried at all about this guy from Spain winning? He's European. He's a bit of a loose cannon. Like, had they gone through with these guys? You can't, because Trump's a lightning rod. We all know that, right? Like, will anything like that happen? Because I'm expecting a lot of these guys to be like,
The
USA.
craziest guy, if you want to, is Josh Hokett. He is fighting, I think, fourth from the top. He's a heavyweight. He's fighting Trump's favorite fighter, and Derek Lewis is his name. And those two guys, they'll probably be a huge knockout in the first round. And that guy will get on. He does the WWE thing, sort of Macho Man, Hulk Hogan situation. So he will probably he could be the one that would say something that Trump wouldn't like, but he could also be the one who's just going to kiss Trump's ass. But for the most part, the mega character didn't quite work out for Colby Covington, and so people have sort of shied away from that.
Gotcha.
But the UFC has not shied away from ponying up, sitting right next, and kissing the ass of the President of the United States. By no means have they done that.
Regardless, that looks awesome. Like can you imagine
somebody
that at night? It's gonna
on
look
here
awesome.
compared it to a Mad Max Thunderdome. It does. It has a pretty
does look
cool at night. It's going to be cool.
post-apocalyptic.
Why is this on Sunday?
I don't know exactly why, but I'm guessing they haven't confirmed this, but it is actually the president's birthday.
Oh, that's 100% why then.
Well, but
and
it's
they
better
avoid
for
the
them.
NBA Finals.
They don't have the NBA Finals, so that I didn't realize it was the president's
It's Flag Day.
birthday.
It's Flag Day.
And it's Flag
All right.
Day. But people hate this so much. And I understand. I'm a little wishy, like is this the way we should be using the White House lawn?
Hey, I don't know, but I think it looks cool. And I'll go to my sport. IndyCar is going to have a race there. Like, I think that's
on the
cool.
White House lawn? They're going to have an IndyCar
around
race?
there. Not around there. They're blocking off all
in the mall?
It's part of this thing. Yeah. So.
Scott, you're a presidential historian. Didn't like Teddy Roosevelt used to hold fights himself out in the yard?
And Abraham Lincoln was a wrestler, a little wrestler.
Yeah, there you go.
Now, you could put
night.
a basketball court out there. You could certainly be playing basketball.
Lincoln was like 8 feet tall. How did he wrestle?
Well, he was 6'3",
He was 6'4".
but that was really tall.
6'3"? I thought he was 6'4". Yeah, that was really tall for that time.
And then he wore the tall hat as well.
Yeah, it made him even taller. Scott, what's the history of Flag Day?
Jesus Christ.
I'm just kidding. Confluence, the official beer of Murph and Andy. Confluence, where good.
I was about to just
take control, Downs.
Good luck
God.
producing the show on your own.
I had a little bit of extra blood flow, if you know what I meant for a second. I was like, "Oh, Flag Day! Let's talk about Betsy Ross."
That sentence is the closest I've been to quitting this show in 17 years.
He was so excited. We'll be at Confluence in a couple of weeks as the patio tour returns when Andy returns from Laxul. Right now, Andrew Downs, AD, with some more.
But wait, there's more from Either Or Eatery and Patio.
Either Or Eatery and Patio. Going to be a great weekend on the patio out at Either Or. Really nice weather. Get out there, 63rd and Grand. Yeah.
God, we're quad boxed.
We are quad boxed.
Wow,
really
you can.
kind of the only way to do
Is
it.
my shirt meringue on your screen too?
What is it?
Meringue right here on the
Meringue?
shoulders. Because
meringue.
That's
it's
like
when
lemon pie, right?
Keith, you know this, but you can't wear on television. You can't wear stripes
I didn't
that
know
are
it was
too close
called
together.
Meringuing?
Meringue.
Yeah, I don't know that
Oh,
word.
it's just on my projector, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Go,
I look forward to I look forward to Chris mispronouncing it on an upcoming Two Guys.
The Des Moines City Council has approved a 50-year lease for the site of a proposed professional soccer stadium. It's north of Grays Lake, south of MLK Parkway. The hope is for a 5,500-seat soccer stadium adjoining Public Plaza to be open by 2029. Again, as I have felt for years now, this looks cool. I hope it happens. This is obviously a step in the right direction. I'm still in the believe it when I see it mode when it comes to this.
Me too.
I was paid a fairly good amount of money, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, to work with this group and produce a video. We did. We shot a whole video with interviews, multiple places across town. And that was when it was going to be open, I think, by today. And it hasn't. So I really hope, when of course that video never got released, I'm really hopeful this happens, because that's the one part of town, along with the Market District just south of East Village, that if we get those two things popping in this city, ooh, Des Moines, yeah,
it would be great. But how long ago was it they broke ground? I mean, we had some video on the WHO 13 News the other night, and it looks like something that was started a decade ago and then just stopped.
Speaking of soccer, reminder to join Happy Hour live tonight on Court Ave for the World Cup watch party. A Jumbotron will have the game. There's food, drinks. The weather looks fantastic for this, Murphy.
So
You're gonna have a
jealous.
hell of a night.
So
It looks like it's going to be a great night. Good timing there, because we've had some bad weather. Like
Guys,
Girls State
Bosnia's
Soccer has
beating
been delayed
Canada.
a couple of times.
Bosnia's on the
beating
lead.
Canada. Is that an upset?
Scott, what the hell happened with Bosnia? Why did they have a second country?
Well, you talking about Bosnia and Herzegovina?
Herzegovina.
I went to go and bet on this game today, and I couldn't believe there was a second name with them.
Well,
Look at that mug from
two
Confluence
countries
AD.
now. They split.
Downtown throwdowns. Throw down.
Hey, you get in the USA spirit with Iowa Everywhere's patriotic
Completely
collection.
just
Still
ignored
time to order before the 4th of July. Check it out, iowaeverywhere.com.
Let's
cool
rank
stuff here.
AD, rank the Iowa Everywhere personalities by their enthusiasm for the patriotic collection.
It's everybody tied for first, and then Andy.
Andy really hates America right now. He's been on that kick for a few years.
Andy would
He
use
doesn't
those
hate
shirts
America,
to
but
wipe his ass in that forest when he takes a dump.
He's in Canada. That's how much he hates America right now.
Somebody's going to believe you.
From the files of Dan, this makes me feel old. Iowa native, Drake alum, and Hawkeye fan Zach Johnson is playing in the Principal Charity Classic this weekend. The two-time major winner and is in his first year of eligibility on the Champions Tour. I'll be out there Sunday helping my wife in the Dress for Success booth. So if you're out there,
cool.
Stop by and say hi.
I can't
Jenny
believe
and
that's
I
this
are
week.
going. We're going Saturday. So tomorrow we're going to go out there and see Zach and the guys. This point you're making though about him being on the Champions Tour, this has hit a lot of people hard. They're like, wait, hang on. Zach Johnson's on the senior tour? I mean, I know it now is called the Champions Tour, but it's like, wait, Zach's 50? He's 50? Yeah, he's 50 years old now, and he'll do well on this tour because it tends to tilt heavily toward 50 to 55. But when I go to the Principal Charity Classic, and it's a really well-run event, it's fun, I'm blown away by how good these guys are. Like, you can't have a Champions Tour for the NFL or the NBA, but these golfers are still great. And it's a reminder of how much better they are than like your buddy who's a good golfer.
Yeah, Bernd Langer is, I think, about 176 years old, and he
Bernard.
still makes the cut at the Masters.
I saw John Daly's been around town. He was at our local Hy-V. I saw him. He was at
Prime
in
in Providence.
Providence
Playing guitar?
My wife saw him at the Pro-Am yesterday when they were setting up their booth and stuff. So, yeah.
See, that's what Sorsby needs to do. He just needs to lean into this like Daly has. Like, yeah, I'll just... Sorsby's promoting DraftKings. Just go off.
Daly was good. One of the few good things in the Happy Gilmore sequel. He was pretty good in that.
He was good in that. All right. June is Pride Month. We've talked about it a little bit, but Capital City Pride's Pride Fest is this weekend in the East Village. Plan accordingly if you're traveling through there. It features a bunch of events, including Sunday's Parade, which is always a highlight at noon on Grand Avenue.
Yeah, last night, Scott asked Colin and I to come over after work and watch the World Cup and have a beer over at the 85 Club. 85 Club, is that what it's called? 85 Bar. So
Go Bears.
Colin is really into the World Cup. He's watching, probably into it in the same way that Sorsby would be into it. But he's really into it. And he doesn't want to leave. I said, look, I'll pick you up and we'll have you in front of that TV over at 85 Bar within 2 minutes, because it's only a 10-minute walk from here. But like, we'll get there in 2 minutes. We'll park out front, be easy. Forgot about you cannot take a left or right turn anywhere in the entire East Village. We ended up parking about the same distance as walking here from our home.
And they missed the end of the game.
This is
And
why
he
we
missed the
have
end of the
long
game.
commercial breaks in American sports, because you can get up and go do things.
Man, how about the NBA with these reviews? Figure that out. They've created 3-hour basketball games in these finals.
We have to remove the on-field officials from reviews. They should not be involved. It takes too long, especially in basketball. They got to go all the way over there. They got to like turn a screen around. No, it should all happen in one central location that's outside of the bias of the arena. Can you imagine trying to make those calls with 20,000 people wanting to kill you? It should be in a sterile environment and happen boom, boom, boom. What are we doing?
I'm also getting onto the bandwagon that like Travis Hines has been on for a long time of let's just screw replay. The human element of screwing up calls and angry fan bases and having 20 years of if this hadn't happened, if they hadn't called that incorrectly, we would have won. You know, like that's
and
a
it's
fun
still
part
not
of sports.
perfect.
Right, and sports, exactly. The replay has lengthened games. It isn't perfect, and it's taken some of the fun out of sports fandom. It doesn't need to be that serious. We don't have to get it right. Nobody's going to die if your team, even if they lose a Super Bowl because of it.
Brandon Sorsby would disagree. There are some very important decisions being made in these games.
Guys, when the Knicks win the NBA championship, and yeah, I said when, a lot of people will tell you that they called it, but one guy has the receipts. Evan Pfeiffer graduated from Smithtown High School on Long Island in 2020, and instead of a yearbook quote, he put Knicks in 6, 2026 NBA Finals.
Wow.
Whoa.
He said he had faith in the Knicks, who were, here, let me pull this picture up, because you can actually, if you zoom in there, you can actually, like, this is a real thing. He said he had faith in the Knicks, who were terrible at the time. He thought they would turn things around. He liked the 6 and 26 rhyme, so he put that in there. He said he did take some grief, especially from his parents, who wanted him to put things like that he was a member of the Honor Society in there. But he thought, hey, if I clutter this up and this actually happens, it's going to look worse in the end. So if this actually happens, it's going to be really cool that the only thing I wrote was Knicks in 6, 2026. So I know he's pulling hard for the Spurs in Game 5 tomorrow night, but this is that's and I don't think it's one of those things where he just tweeted like 100 different predictions and now one of them came true.
No, this
put it
also
in the yearbook.
Can you pull that up again? Because Evan, his resume pales in comparison to every single person around him. Look at Brooke Pfeiffer. Look at how many things she has. And Evan's got.
That's Brooke Pfeffer.
You think so?
Pfeffer,
not Pfeiffer.
Scott, I would have gone Pfeiffer too.
Thank you. Okay.
Where's the I?
I don't know. I'm just saying it doesn't like Pfeffer is just weird. You wouldn't. It's too close to heifer.
Let's do a little bit of this day in history to wrap up more. On this day in 1991, Michael Jordan and the Bulls beat Magic Johnson and the Lakers 108-101 in Game 5 of the NBA Finals to win the franchise's first championship. They would have, of course, go on to win the next 2 before Jordan was suspended for game. I mean, he was he retired to play baseball.
Oh, I miss watching Michael Jordan and those Bulls. Although, did you see the number for Game 3, the ratings for Game 3? It was huge. It was like 23 million people. So people are watching this NBA Finals. People are back in. They do need to find a way to move these games along more, though. 7:30 starts are ending at 10:30.
Do you guys think, just a temperature check, do you think that Victor Wembanyama will surpass both LeBron and MJ in the GOAT debate by the time he retires? I know it's
not
early.
MJ.
I want to know. You
Not
don't think
MJ.
so?
No.
What if he gets...
Maybe
I know
LeBron, but LeBron's longevity of excellence is stunning. I mean, he is...
And it's a much harder
really
time to
devoted
play. There's
himself.
so much more talent than there was when Jordan was playing.
How tall is he again?
He's
7'6".
actually... Yeah, he's actually 7'5" and a half in socks.
He'll have an
He's
injury.
that tall. Well, I think we saw last night one of the challenges too. He clearly is not overweight, but he has trouble with stamina. Like he faded in the second half big time.
Yeah, when
and this
they've
is
had
a guy
these
that's
close
dribbled a
games.
basketball up a mountain and hung out with monks. It's not like he's not training himself and trying hard, but I don't think he can get in the kind of shape with that frame to approach Jordan.
So do you think he'll have 6 or more NBA titles by the time he retires?
No. Do you know how many different?
Oh yeah.
Do you know
I
how
think
many
they might
different?
win 10 in a row
Well,
at
but
this
a
point.
year ago, you would have said that about the Thunder.
No. I thought Wemby. I was surprised Wemby. I thought Wemby would be better by better than he is now. By now,
Scott, the Spurs were leading the Knicks by 27 at halftime.
29.
And 27 at halftime.
Oh,
29
halftime,
in the second half. And you went to see He-Man.
I did. I have the power.
What was it like when you opened your phone?
I didn't believe it. You know, it's one of those things. Like it can't. I made an educated sports fan decision. Like I watched the whole first half. I saw what was happening. The Spurs were playing smart every time. The Knicks would like get 2 baskets in a row. Timeout. We're not going to let them get any momentum. So of course I should project that that's going to happen in the second half. No, how is that possible?
I think you just love this guy because he's not from America, Scott. I think that's your thing.
Man, I think you guys might be underestimating how dominant of a player he's going to be. And plus, that Spurs team is only going to get better.
I mean that's what we think, right? That's and I mean
I agree with Downs.
logically that makes sense, but man, this never happens the way we think it's going to happen. Again, a year ago, people were saying this Thunder team is too damn good, and they just lost.
You asked the question a few weeks, maybe a month ago. Thunder or the field?
Thunder or the field, and I think it was a legitimate question at that point. And they're not even in the finals.
Are we? But I will say this: I like the fact that we all hate the Thunder because it's like the same group of guys. Right, like I feel like the NBA may be going back to where these players might stick in these, right? Like the globalization of our world where everything, it used to be, I got to get to New York. I got to get to these big markets. I got to form a super team. I feel like the NBA might be going away from that just a smidge. Am I right? You guys follow closer than I do.
I hope so.
Well, I mean, one thing working against Scott's take here and to yours, Chris, is this is going to be the 8th different champion in 8 years.
That's great.
In those 8 years, no team has won 2. 8 years, 8 different champions.
And you've had
and
all-time
you're talking
greats.
about the Spurs winning 10 in a row.
And you've had a great Warriors team that had a dynasty. You've had a great LeBron James on the best franchise in the league, in the Lakers. And to have that much parity with like that much condensed talent, seemingly,
that seems to be the trajectory of the NBA. You know, what Russell had double digits in championships. Then you get Jordan has 6. Then LeBron has 4. It gets harder. And now the NBA is going to be adding 2 more teams. So yes, it's going to be harder than ever for Wembanyama. And yet there's been no player ever like him. So while it's unlikely he'll be the greatest of all time, I think it's possible.
It's like he's on stilts. Those legs are going to snap it.
He's going to put on weight. He's going to get
Will
stronger.
that be good, though? Can his frame handle the weight? Like,
we shall find out. But that team around him is going to get better, too.
I have seen, because I'm fascinated watching him because he can dribble, he can shoot, he can do all these things we've never seen somebody his size do, his height. But he's kind of, he's a bit of a douche out on the court. Like I haven't seen that side of him
which
before.
I kind of like.
He's got some edge to him.
Yeah.
When he says, "I'm in your head, I'm in your head,
I'm in your head," like he'll taunt you, and you know Jordan had some of that competitive, edgy douche.
Kobe.
In him, and he used it. Kobe for sure. Yeah, those hyper competitive people like Caitlin Clark.
Yeah,
she's really goofy off the court. Yeah. She's a different person when she's in a game. Like,
and I still ain't
really
counting the Spurs out in this finals. I'm not counting them out.
Got to win 3 in a row.
They went. LeBron did it against a better Warriors team. He had a worse team around him. They win in San Antonio, win in New York, which they can do. Go to Game 7.
Let's take inventory of this quad box right now. There's a lot going on. Okay, so Scott has what looks like maybe a Boz print of the Capitol.
That's Van Holmgren.
Okay, and a Jim Kelly autographed jersey. Maybe a plant over there that's like spilling into the picture. We don't ever see this much. AD,
Ficus.
Are you at a bar? Is that that's your basement bar?
It's my basement bar. Yeah, it's a functional bar, also a podcast studio.
You got the AKC marketing hat, and then it looks like it's. Oh, I see a Lakers champions.
I got my Lakers things. I got my McCollum tie up here. I got a Bears thing up here somewhere. There's a bunch of little Easter eggs too. Things my kids like Legos my kids have put together. I've got a Harry Potter thing. I've got a Hamilton thing. Yeah.
And a light
Chris
switch.
Chris has like, is that a stock market ticker or sports?
It's got
scores?
everything. Right now, it's going through the NASCAR point standings.
Does it just stay there? It's like it's a NASCAR ticker.
No,
And
it's actually cool. It comes with an app, and you can customize it. So yeah, it'll go to the stock market, and then it'll give live updates on like the World Cup.
Is that Hawkeye fan Eric Church over your left shoulder?
And there's Johnny Cash flipping you off.
Oh yeah, that's a
Johnny
good one.
Cash.
And then this is my favorite right here.
Do you think Johnny Cash is rolling in his grave that he's on the same wall as Eric Church?
Stop it. You don't need to be.
Well, Eric Church is a way better singer than Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash, it's surprising how successful he got just by his style.
Murph giving the cheers. Is that what you're doing? You're cheersing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It looks like he's doing the
Raising the
old
glass.
Heil Hitler is what it looks like to me.
Scott, why would you say something like that?
That's what.
My God, I have a beer. I'm cheersing in the air. I'm at the Heineken
German?
factory in Amsterdam.
What factory?
Heineken.
Okay.
Anyway, moving along
God,
here.
Heineken sucks. That's the worst beer I've ever had.
It's better overseas. It's skunky
Oh
over
my
here.
God, it's terrible.
From one three-peat to another, this day in 2002, the Lakers completed their three-peat. Shaq and Kobe, they beat the Nets. They swept the Nets in that finals. That was the last three-peat in the four major American professional sports. I think NASCAR and Jimmy Johnson had like a five-peat at some point, but that was the last three-peat in American professional sports.
Did any of you watch the Trailblazers documentary on Netflix?
Yeah, wasn't it called was it the Jailblazers?
Is this
What
about
did you
their
guys-
coach getting arrested in a mafia poker
No, I
gambling
just
scheme?
I had forgotten about all the personalities that had gone through Portland and everything that went down there.
That was
Because the
a fun
Lakers were a
franchise in
huge
the
part
early
of that,
2000s.
Andrew.
Yeah.
That Lakers team was a huge, as you know, being a Lakers, you probably hated those Portland teams.
Oh yeah, hated them. It's why I still hate the Spurs. It's why I don't like Wemby. I'll always hate the Spurs. It's why I don't care about the Kings because the Lakers just run the Kings out of the gym every time they played.
For the audience, if you're looking for a little nostalgic NBA, that Trailblazers documentary is a really easy and fun watch.
It is. I wondered. I didn't watch it. I was scared off by some of the reviews that said it didn't do that era justice.
It
Like,
didn't.
get
It's
into
not
it
long enough. It's not detailed enough. But it's
okay, I'll
still
watch it.
like it'll
we need
still.
to get Keith off of reading reviews before he watches things. It totally frames the way that you enjoy or not enjoy something.
No, I keep an open mind. The
No,
problem
you
is
don't.
there's so much content out
It's
there. I need to have
poison.
an idea of what
Your
to
mind
Some
is
sort of
poisoned.
filter. You have to have some sort
Yeah.
of filter. Some of us have
you do.
jobs, Scott.
Yeah, Scott, where do you get your benefits?
I just don't ever get sick.
Oh, God.
Finally, on this day in
We're at
1994,
GoFundMe coming up here in the next couple of years.
On this day in 1994, O.J. Simpson killed his ex-wife and her boyfriend and mostly got away with it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And it was a brutal. He like shaved her head off.
Allegedly.
Yeah, it was.
Well,
It
he
was an
can't
ugly
sue us
scene.
now. He's dead. So
He
never
is
mind.
dead.
Yeah.
Say
But
whatever you want.
also, as a Bills fan, the fact that our greatest player of all time is a double murderer it just sucks. It really, because he was so good at running.
He
the
was
football.
so great. My dad took me to see him play because he's like, you gotta see O.J. Simpson. You're gonna always hear about him. Oh, you were right, Dad.
Oh,
I remember sitting in like, I think it was like 6th grade, and they wheeled the TV in to watch the verdict.
Dude,
Ooh.
our
I
best
snuck
player,
a radio in.
our best player is known for beating the hell out of his kid with a stick.
See, this is
That's-
again why when Vikings fans try to tell me we have 4 Super Bowl losses too. First off, they weren't all in a row. Second off, whipping your child, being bad, that's not great. But slicing the head off of your wife and her lover, way worse.
Not lover and no longer wife.
Okay, ex-wife. Wait, what's golden? Remind me. I thought they were banging it.
Well, he was a waiter returning his glasses. I think we can see that
Wait
he
a
was
second.
interested.
They were. That's why he was so mad, I thought. OJ.
Well, I think he was a very jealous man.
I think he was just pretty. At this point, Scott, I think he was just about mad at everything.
CTE.
Well,
You know what?
throwdowns.
I'm glad he got
No,
away
is
and
it-
didn't
there's
have
more.
any. Putting him in jail for life would have really caused him lots of
Scott,
pain and anguish. And
let me ask
just
you-
mental health
Let me
problems.
ask you a tough question. I'm
Coach
just going to
McGuire.
cut you off because I need to ask you a tough question.
Yeah.
And I want you to think about this.
Okay.
Don't give it a few seconds. Don't just respond for the audience. Really think about it.
Okay.
Go back to one of those 4 Super Bowls the Bills lost. And I can change history and I can give you one win. You win one Super Bowl. Or you catch the pass when Jim Kelly throws it to you. Which do you take?
It's closer than you think. But I have to go with Norwood putting it through the uprights. Okay. I have to. Just because mostly Norwood, like I feel so bad for that man. You talk about Ben Jacobson not really being able to let go of what was one of the worst coaching jobs in the history of any sport anywhere. That moment.
Jeez, we didn't say that.
Jesus. Well,
that's what you're saying when you're like, it's the greatest choke job in the history of this state.
It's funny, like
he wasn't playing.
I was
no,
thinking
but come on, you're the coach.
You should have quit calling the turnover play.
I was thinking about Norwood and Gary Anderson during that conversation.
Oh yeah,
because Gary Anderson, I think moved out into the woods. Because I'm not kidding. Like he lost his mind after that kick in 1998 for the Vikings-Falcons NFC Championship.
What's incredible about Norwood, he came back the next year. He made every single one of his kicks in the playoffs.
Gary Anderson went crazy. He was like that guy in Ace Ventura.
Oh, yeah. What was his name? Ray Finkel.
Ray Finkel. Yeah,
Finkel is Einhorn.
That game you're referencing with that great Vikings team, Chris.
Yeah.
That game, I remember our friend Ryan Lund was there.
Oh yeah,
and covering it, and I believe Todd Bailey was there, and they said they have never heard a place with that many people go that quiet. Wow. Like it went from a roar to you could hear like one person talking on the field, like just everything. It's like you just turn the mute on your television. I mean, that team was so damn good.
Unequivocally the worst sports moment of my life.
How far of a shot? Because Norwood was 47 yards on grass outdoors to win the Super Bowl. What was, because the Anderson one was a way worse miss, I think. What I remember.
It was his only miss of the season, wasn't it?
And it was
I'll
much
tell you
closer.
right now, 38 yards.
Indoors. 38 yards in a dome.
And he had not missed all season.
Correct.
Right?
Hadn't missed a single kick. Like the best kick, one of the best seasons in NFL history. And I'm not kidding. He had to move out into the woods because he just lost his mind.
At least he got to move to the woods. There's like a couple of countries in this World Cup. If somebody blows a penalty kick, they'll be beheaded.
Oh yeah,
probably this Bosnia
and that's what
team.
Makes it fun. Oh, Bosnian. I think. How are the Bosnians doing?
They're up 1-0. I believe you.
I like the Bosnians.
AD, is that a wrap? Because Herky the cat has to.
That's more.
Okay, what's bugging you is at speakpipe.com/Murph_Andy.
Yes, it is.
Hey, this is Steve calling from Prescott, Iowa. Just had a few sips of liquid courage this evening and wanted to let you fellas know what's bugging me today. Well, I was listening to the CW pod with Kenzo on. This is a few weeks ago, and it's just been bugging me for quite some time. So Kenzo says there should be a statue of Chris Williams at the Adams County Speedway. Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. I was there in 2005 when Chris Williams was announcing races at the Adams County Speedway, and he ain't worth the Charmin Extra Soft he wiped his raggedy white ass with. So if anyone needs a statue over there, it's that son of a bitch Chris Hassel for putting up with all that that whole frickin' Chris Williams has been up to. That's all I had to say tonight. I hope y'all have a blessed evening. Take care.
Gosh, can we just hear from a normal person, please?
No one normal calls. No one.
We used to get normal calls, and
that sounded a little bit like Cooter Ray, like a little bit.
It did. It did. All right, time for throwdowns.
Throwdowns. It's Throwdowns, backed by Heartland Tire and Auto.
Heartland Tire and Auto, treating you like family at all their locations across central Iowa. Authorized dealer of both Firestone and Bridgestone tires. Murph, we'll start with you. As you said earlier, a big sports weekend. If you could attend one sporting event this weekend, World Cup, I'll let you go to any World Cup game. Stanley Cup Game 6 in Vegas. NBA Finals Game 5 in San Antonio. You can go to every game of the College World Series over in Omaha, or you can go to the UFC event at the White House. Where are you going?
If I can go to any game, I would pick the United States against Paraguay. I would go to the World Cup. Going to some soccer games in other countries has opened my eyes to what makes it the world's most popular sport by far. And the World Cup, where you just the full on, bringing us together, patriotism, cheering the USA, to be in the stadium, that would be so cool. I would pick that.
C-Dub?
Me too. And it's what Keith said. I really crave that in 2026. Everybody getting that's why I'm so jealous that I can't come tonight. I hope the United States keeps winning and that they do another event like that down on Court Avenue. It would be the World Cup for me. And it's every 4 years. There's something exclusive about it. If the UFC fight card was better, I would consider that, but no, I would go to the World Cup.
And huge game tonight, by the way. If the United States wins tonight, it's like a 90% chance that they get to the next round.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
You're going to have at least 3 games to go see of the U.S. in the group stage, which they'll probably get out of because they are not playing in the group of death. They're playing in what Hassel calls the group of life, which was very brilliant yesterday on 2 guys. And then the other ones, they're all repeatable. But there's only ever going to be, I can promise you, okay? There's only ever going to be one UFC card at the White House. It might be the only sporting event ever at the White House, probably for good reason. I got to go there. And these are going to be exciting fights. You probably don't know the names, but these are going to be guys standing in the center of the octagon trying to knock each other's heads off. It's going to be fun and exciting.
You're a huge UFC fan. I think that's the right and easy choice for you. I mean, if you are a UFC fan, you pick that.
No doubt.
It's at the White House. That's
All right,
cool.
Chris, you're coaching your girls' softball team, the Turtles. I'm embroiled in youth sports with both kids. Murph, you've gone through this already. CW, what is the best youth sport as an adult?
Oh, I think it's softball or baseball. We'll lump those two together. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you the outdoors aspect of it, the kids are not in school at this point. You can really kind of lean in. I don't know. To me, that's what youth sports are. I automatically go to baseball and softball because it just seems that's what it was the biggest in my childhood as well. What about you? Wrestling, I think, would get a lot of votes in this state.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I like soccer because we do it in the fall. It's a nice fall, and then I don't have the amount of stress I have as I do watching baseball or softball. Maybe it's because I don't understand it as much, or it's not such an individual sport. When I'm, especially my son now that he's like 10 and in baseball and taking it kind of seriously.
Has he pitched yet? That is the most stressful.
No, that's rough. But even those at bats, and like I'm trying to hold myself back, like that's not a strike, like not yell at the 16-year-old behind the plate.
I think it's soccer. Oh, sorry. I think it's soccer because there's less form that you have to fit into. You know, when you have a position in baseball, it's but the soccer for the young folks is very free flowing, and it seems to be the easiest one to actually understand for them. And then they're just running themselves out, so they're tired by the end. A lot of looking up for baseball and softball at the sky and sitting down, and now this new rule that McKenzie's League has.
Coach.
Where you don't even have to throw the ball once you get it to first base. You just have to put both hands up and then the runner's out. Can you believe that's a rule that makes me so mad?
The question is, what is the best youth sport as a parent?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's basketball because baseball for parents can often be really boring. And sometimes it's like just a carousel of walks and runs and ball being thrown all over the place. Football, they're not really developed enough yet. Soccer tends to be, I mean, Scott's right. It's a lot of running around, but I don't think it's real riveting for the parents. I think basketball at least moves at the best pace.
All right, Scott, which is more likely? There are aliens among us or there are ghosts among us?
100% that it's aliens.
No.
Yeah, there
I
is
agree.
0% chance that ghosts exist. First off, you have to tell me what a ghost is. I know what an alien is. I do. It's the life form that lives off of Earth, or originated off of Earth, maybe I should say in this case. Ghost, nobody can even define what it is to me. So I don't know. If I saw a ghost, I wouldn't even
You're
know
not
if
gonna
I was
see
seeing
it,
a
you
ghost.
Dumbass. That's the whole point of a ghost.
People see ghosts all the time. All the
You can
time.
if they want to show themselves to you, but most of the time they don't.
Where you just feel them?
I don't know. I can't explain. You can't explain the unexplainable. That's the thing. It's like
By definition. Do you know the definition of a circular argument?
I think if aliens were here, we would have seen them by now. We would have caught them sons of guns. We would have figured it out by now. Like I don't.
Maybe
think
they
that
haven't arrived yet, though. I mean, we're a teeny part of the universe.
I just think, like, Scott, look at me straight in the eye.
I am.
You, the millions of people that have had experiences with the paranormal, you think they're all full of shit?
I think that many of them are full of shit and many of them are mistaken. That they think they experienced something that was supernatural when in fact it was very natural. They just didn't understand.
You're not a
it,
big
and that's
Jesus
okay.
guy either, though, so that makes sense. Like this, it all kind of matches up. That, like, you don't think.
Hey,
that
do you still have your job, your full-time job?
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out.
right,
hey, that's
Time for the Andrew Downs audio drop
Probably
of the day. We call it the
spirits
AD
everywhere.
squared.
It's powered by Game Day Men's Health. If you want an example of what Game Day Men's Health can do for you, this is Chris Williams before Game Day Men's Health.
That's a promo.
And look at him after.
That's a
He looks-
real
he looks
photo.
great.
That is
It
not
is.
AI. That
I
is
remember
on the
that
streets
night.
of Humboldt.
Yeah.
That's RVTV.
That was
Streets
when
of
we were
Humboldt.
throwing watermelons or pumpkins. Which one was it?
Smashing Pumpkins in
I
Humboldt?
think we were.
Look what
My
it
gosh.
can do for you. Ankeny, West Des Moines, North Liberty, wherever you are, there's a game day near you. It is Friday, so some parental advisory is necessary. None of these bleeps are necessary. It's all innocent conversation. I've placed bleeps to make you hear things that aren't actually being said. What you hear is on you, not us. It's This Week in Iowa, unnecessary censorship.
Because if Kirk Ferentz retires, Caitlin Clark gets traded, or TJ Otzelberger a kangaroo in Australia, it won't debut exclusively on some obscure Facebook page you've never heard of.
He was one of the great concerts that I've ever been to. Way back in the 80s when he was all up, just full of coke.
UFC is putting a fight card on the White House lawn this weekend, and somehow the least controversial part is two humans trying to each other in a cage. Really?
Joey Chestnut, his time is coming. He entered a guilty plea after a man when he was drunk.
And you could remember instances of where you were sitting watching some of those plays.
I was always sitting on my balls on the floor of my dad's apartment.
Caitlin helps a homeless man rebuild his life. Caitlin comforts a crying baby on an airplane. Caitlin Angel Reese in the face. Punches.
Don't clip that and put that on the internet. That would go viral,
no.
and it would get Keith in a lot of trouble.
Punches was the word, and it's about fake stories. That was the context. Quickie poll results. AD, we had two today. One was interesting, and one was stupid.
Which is the biggest choke? 50% say the 2016 Falcons in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. 27% go with UNI in the NCAA tournament. 12% go with the Yankees in 2004 against the Red Sox. And just 10%, I guess round to 11, go with the Spurs the other night against the Knicks.
Scott, what would you have picked?
I think it's the Falcons just because it's the Super Bowl. But the amount of decisions in a short amount of time that Ben Jacobson made that were totally wrong make the UNI one in the tournament just so hard to.
Jeez. All right.
It's tough. It's really tough. I like Ben. Ben's great, really nice guy.
If the cost of the surgery was covered, how much would it take for you to sell your appendix? 41% say $1 million. You don't need the appendix. 31 go with 100,000. Just 12% will give it away for 10
People are
G's.
so
and
stupid.
16% want that appendix. They're not giving it away at any price.
No price will they sell the appendix. All right, final segment or final thing. Weekend radar. What's on your radar this weekend? CW.
Dance recitals. That's it. I'm going to be dancing.
It's a huge sports weekend, and that includes dance recitals.
I want to be watching dance recitals and watching sports on my phone.
You know what? You'll remember the dance recitals more than we'll remember these games.
This is true.
AD?
Tonight I'm going over to Urbandale's Party in the Park at Walker Johnston Park. Excited for that. They got games and things for the kids, live music from my buddies in Bad Friends, a local band, and it's going to be a perfect night for it. And I should be able to get home. I think it ends at 9, so I'll get home for the second half of the World Cup game. So, yeah, excited about that. Nice community
Big
event.
game. Scott, what's on your radar?
I'll be excited to be down in Court Ave with you and Jenny tonight to watch America, the greatest country on the earth, play a soccer match. And then I'm going at 10 o'clock tonight at the Temple of Performing Arts is a murder mystery serial killer performance. It's 4 different serial killer plays. I'm excited. I haven't gone to there so late. And then tomorrow, my niece has her 1-year-old birthday party. NBA Finals, then UFC punching people in the face on Sunday.
So within 72 hours, you went to He-Man at halftime of an NBA game. You're going to a murder mystery, and then you're going to watch guys punch each other in the face on the White House lawn.
Yeah, I have a very weird life.
You're an interesting guy, Scott.
Thank you.
I will be doing
Happy Hour?
The Happy Hour podcast. I'll go straight from here to there because it's time. It's time for the show to start. It's at 6:30. So we'll be live between 3rd and 4th on Court. Come by if you can. It's a fan zone street party, so it should be fun. And the game will be on a huge jumbotron out there, and it's a big game tonight. And then tomorrow, Principal Charity Classic, and we're going to go see Colin, who is working a double at the Soggy Frog out at Sailorville Lake. Have you guys been out to the Soggy Frog
great.
yet?
It's a cool spot. That place. Yeah.
Yeah, he's tending bar out at the Soggy Frog tomorrow. So we're going to have lunch at the Soggy Frog. Then we're going over to the Principal Charity
All
Classic.
those old cougars in their bikinis are just going to love Colin.
Iowa Fireworks Farm, $150 gift card goes to Dan Vargason.
Dan, congrats, Dan. Email Murph_Andy at iowaeverywhere.com to claim your prize.
Is that Jesse Ventura?
Dan does look like a badass.
Yeah.
Looks like he could run the state of Minnesota.
I'm going to warn you, Chris, your partner, your on-air partner, Chris, has put out a ridiculous photo of the two of us doing the show today.
Oh, great. What am I, pushing 400 this time?
Yes. And
Can we see your biceps?
No.
I look like this if I weighed 88 pounds.
Like Meth Keith?
Get ready for that. It's not a good look. Hey, Chris, thank you. I know you have a busy life and you came in to do this. I really appreciate it. Appreciate everything you do for all of us at Iowa Everywhere.
Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Oh, my God.
Here's the photo. Yeah.
Oh, my God. It's Ariana Grande and Lizzo.
Let's end on that one before we get in more trouble. Thank you for making Murph and Andy Party your Friday. Happy Hour live at 6:30 from the Fan Zone Street Party on Court Avenue. Come by if you get a chance or listen or watch. We'd appreciate it. We're back Monday, and we hope you are too.